when I actually fully remembered it, I remember I was driving and I just started crying because I was like, wow, this happened to me. And yeah, I tried to just push it down as long as I could and fill myself up with whatever I could along the way. But none of it satisfied. My story starts off in a stable, quiet, consistent household, small town life, nothing crazy, picture perfect, I guess you could say, from the outside. Growing up, I would definitely identify myself as an atheist. I don't know if you could say it was a default setting or if it was just what society around me taught or if it just seemed the simplest to me because, yeah, we evolved. Here we are. I'm a creature. Both of my parents struggled themselves growing up, which plays into this all. My dad's dad took his life when my dad was about 11. My mom's dad got kicked out of the house at gunpoint when she was a little girl. So they both grew up without that picture of a leader in their household. So they didn't have that example. So when they were raising my brother and I, they were doing as much as they possibly could to make sure that we had what they didn't have, which was that consistency. At a young age too, some things happened to me. I dealt with sexual abuse. That's shattered what small idea of leadership would actually be in my life, was ruined. And eventually, out of that insecurity, I started to latch on to doing whatever my friends whatever people around me were doing. And for the most part, that kept me okay. I got into sports, I got into skateboarding, regular young kid stuff. I started drinking when I was 13 quite heavily. Like to the point where by the time I was actually legal to drink, I was done drinking just because I've done so much of it. And then with that too, drugs came into the picture. I struggled to remember my high school years. I was high every day, morning, lunch, weekends. Coming out of things like drugs, I had a lot of fears. I had a lot of doubts. I had a lot of friends that kept going with it and their lives didn't turn around. Eventually, after high school, I ended up getting into work immediately, like literally the day after my graduation, I started working to try and, I guess, fill my time. And I got into a relationship along the way where it got serious. It was long-term, ended very volatile. And I was broken down, I was raw. And then I started realizing that questions started coming to the surface that I had been subconsciously asking myself the whole time I was growing up, as questions of like, I'm sure everyone asks themselves, like, what is the purpose of life? Who am I? And I say subconsciously just because I didn't know I was asking those questions when I was a kid and when I was a teenager. But in that moment, I started to. And then through a series of events, I actually had a friend invite me out to a men's night. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm gonna put up my mohawk, all 10 inches of it. I'm gonna put on the heaviest metal shirt I had, big Grim Reaper on the front. I'm gonna give the speaker a shock. I'm gonna give everyone a culture shock. Ironically, the speaker is telling a story about how he went blind, so I couldn't even give that culture shock. And then after a couple weeks, those answers started coming. Those questions that I'd been asking my whole life of what is the purpose of life, started to get actually put into me, and that foundation started to get laid into me, of the fact that the purpose of life is for me to fulfill my calling and to be the person that God designed me to be, and to give glory to God. And that hit me, and it hit me like a fire. Like it ignited me. It ignited my soul. All of a sudden, in a couple moments, I had that leadership. I had that figure that I could go to that wouldn't fail me. I had the teacher that could say to me that I know of the crap in your past, but you're accepted and you're gonna go past these things. I was 21, and I guess it's 10 years ago now. I don't want anything else. It's been my passion. It's been, now I have 3 kids. And my hope is that they can learn at a young age who they are, that they are designed by God, and that the purpose of life is for them to give glory to God in being who they are. Yeah, I met my wife at church, the most incredible woman I've ever met in my life. Now I can say I've overcome, and I am overcoming. I know that I am not just, I'm not just who that kid was, or I'm not just a kid without a leader. Now I'm a man who's fulfilling his walk with God, fulfilling his journey of what I'm designed to be, and it's crazy exciting.